tea is the solution. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Shapira, and we are here today to talk about how to build a space opera. Today's topic is ensemble pieces versus central protagonist storylines. You're making a big epic. Are you going to go with a group of characters, usually pursuing several interconnecting narratives? Or are we going to follow the journey of a primary character as they pursue their main objective? Often some kind of overthrow and usually told in first person. Both of these options, as in everything in life, are a spectrum, not a hard binary. But there is still a decision to be made here. In our story, we have a 17-year-old girl named Jenna who has been picked up by a rather distasteful alien race called the Kreta and taken to be an involuntary workforce recruit at a mining planet. It is here that she will be placed in a barrack with some other colorful characters. And this gives rise to the true nature of the piece, that it is in fact an ensemble piece. I did decide to go with ensemble, but I want to outline the reasoning and options. In a large sprawling work such as Puppet Shades, I feel it is best to have a colorful cast who shares the spotlight fairly equally. We use Jenna as our point of view lead-in, and she will remain a central character throughout, but other characters will now enter and assume a varying degree of prominence throughout. So, if you had to corner me and demand that I give my favorite sci-fi author, at least for, say the past 10 years, it's probably going to be Peter Hamilton. Although, mad props to James S. A. Corey, Ann Leckie, Adrian Tchaikovsky, N.K. Jemisin, and Martha Wells. But Peter Hamilton's various multi-volume space operas, oh my God, they're my go-to jam. I love them, really. And they're probably what inspired me to, tackle a space opera more than any other author. His Night's Dawn trilogy, Commonwealth Saga, Salvation trilogy, these are how I like my space operas. I love this man's stories. And Peter Hamilton makes spectacular use of ensembles to propel his sprawling narratives. In literature, ensemble pieces will usually use third person. In fantasy, Joe Abercrombie and Brandon Sanderson make some of my absolute favorite stories, and they both use the technique made famous in recent times by George R.R. Martin of the shifting point of view character device in both of their ensemble-based fantasy books. I aspire to make stories half as good as Abercrombie, and Sanderson and Hamilton. Although I have 100% more singing. So, now to be fair, there are plenty of great space operas that use big casts but keep a single focus character. The Red Rising books by Pierce Brown and the Sun Eater series by Christopher Ruccio are excellent examples. As expected, they are told using first person, so our point of view character never changes as the stories lead us through immense galactic adventures. Narratively, I think an ensemble could provide more opportunities for nuance and ambiguity. In first-person sci-fi epics and a wide swath of the young adult genre, for instance, we have a clear protagonist who has made a clear moral judgment on the part of both themselves and the reader that the society around them is bad and needs reforming, and much of the series will revolve around their attempts to succeed in bringing down the corrupt system. I'm swinging a broad hammer here, so don't kill me for it. But this moral hero versus immoral society is much more prevalent in a first-person work and a hair less so in an ensemble piece. Although the plucky group fighting against all odds, probably proves me wrong. To be honest, I tend to tire of the lone wolf moral hero versus big bad corrupt adult society simply because it has been done to death. The usual dreck of we're all divided into sections, labels, colors, animals, divisions of some sort, and the hero just knows they must rise above and free everyone from it all. And God save me from another sludge through that overdone trope. Much better recent examples that do this sort of thing right are series like Red Rising and Sun Eater, which are much more creative, sprawling in scope, and complicated with colorful nuance as the tale goes, raising them both to much more hollowed status. As far as my own work goes, there are two reasons above all for me to go Ensemble. One, watching weird characters interact and the shenanigans that arise. And two, utilizing the incredible array of vocal talent I am lucky enough to have at my disposal. Creating a bunch of colorful personalities that cover a wide spectrum of behaviors, perspectives, and mental diversity, and then letting them loose to interact gives rise to so many great possibilities that can help steer the story in all sorts of intriguing and fun directions. Possibilities also manifest and adjust once the actual singer gets a hold of the character. Jess shifted once I started hearing Lauren Osborne voicing her. Zaja has grown and evolved as a result of Yumi Katuri bringing his voice to the character, Oki with Bradley Johnson, etc. And just as character personalities have a range of color, so do voices themselves. Each singer is a color on a spectrum, and I like having a cast of diverse voices so that the characters become like instruments of a symphony, but auditorily and from a storytelling perspective. It's like a picture bursting with vocal color. And with such an excellent cadre of voices to work with, who are shockingly willing to work with me, I don't know why. And each is capable of incredible heavy vocal lifting, it makes sense to give each as much spotlight as I can. As a musical storyteller, I suffer under a lot of handicaps compared to literary writers. They can go into so much more detail and backstory, and they have as many words as they want at their disposal as where I have however many syllables can fit into the melody of a verse. Books are the true dominant form of complex stories. But one of the advantages I do have is that you can hear the voice of the character. It creates an instant richness and depth of connection that books have to spend a bit longer to cultivate. Or at least, use more clever tricks. So, there are also parallels between musical storytelling and graphic novels of all things due to the brevity inherent within the medium, but that is a discussion for another time. So, until then, please be well. Cheers.
Jess here also lives with us. Hey Jess, come on, say hi.
The only thing that I look forward to is hoping I will die.
She's a revolutionary, you've heard about the keys.
They disposed the royal family in a bloody coup, you see.
Jess was part of that, but now she's stuck here.
Look who's here.
Oh wait, there's a robot who lives with us.
L3X is his name.
Lex can be quite sharp, but you must catch him in a day.
At night he has some drug that takes his mind real far away.
Static, robots get high off static.
Lex is in his corner there. Hey Lex, why don't you come? Oh yeah.
Well, it seems he's tanked.
He's total
boomed out,
plastered on his drugs.
We believe deliverance will surely come one day when the mining here is done.
The last one in our bunker here, the creature Crimson Rose.
I am pleased to meet you, your stay will not be too long, I hope. How I miss my sisters badly, but the one thing I do find is that the feelings take the loneliness away from out your mind.
So don't stray too far into the mines and keep your chin on up. Depression will not help us overcome. We're so glad to see a new face in this hell where we succumb. We believe deliverance will surely come one day when